Well, hello there and welcome to the channel, and in this video we're going to be discussing an article that recently came out, I think originally from the Express. Yeah, girl, she absolutely loves these. And it's regarding a gardening warning from the very lovely Alan Titchmarsh, who is one of my absolute favourite gardening journalists. Anyway, there is a cold front coming in, and Alan is very concerned about your herbs in the garden, particularly when there is a certain amount of snow being forecast. So there's a problem with this. The problem is that Alan Titchmarsh is an absolutely stunning horticulturist. He's properly qualified. He has a Q, that's the Royal Gardens of Kew diploma. However, the journalist who actually wrote this article, he does not. And there are a lot of problems with this article. There are a lot of ridiculous misinformation that I just need to get through to clear it out so it makes sense to you. So, without further ado, we'll go into what he said, and then we'll pull apart the mistakes in it, because flipping it, there's some stupidity in this one. Come on, let's go on a bit. Oh, I'll start with a quote from the fantastic man himself. He's handsome, very handsome. Now, before I start, I must apologise to my lovely American viewers. Oh, say can you see? Because throughout this video I'll be using the correct pronunciation of herbs. That's herbs with an H, and not the American herbs, which always sounds a bit weird. I don't make the rules. Anyway, let's go on with the first quote from Alan Titchmarsh. Where would we be without the herbs that flavour our food? Even in winter, with things like bay in lovely winter soups and stews, being evergreen, it can stay out all year round in all but the coldest localities. The same is true of rosemary, both evergreens that can live in the garden all a year round. However, he noted that basil and coriander are less resilient. He continued to say, other perennial herbs like mint and chives, which tend to die down in winter, their interest and their savoury uses can be prolonged by digging them up now and making sure that you're putting them in a place where through the winter you can carry on encouraging them to grow. What a lovely man. Alright, now for the details. One of the big issues with herbs is that you go to a garden centre and you'll see a wide range of herbs put out on display in the same place, and you can be forgiven for thinking that herbs are all approximately the same sort of thing. You treat them all roughly the same, you can plant them all together and they'll all be lovely and fine, but the trouble is they are not. They are from all parts of the globe, and as such many of these herbs do require varying conditions in order to grow successfully. So some are from the Mediterranean, some are from the Indian continent, you get a few from the Americas. So you can't just start treating them all the same. So when it comes to our common herbs, I mean, in the UK, a lot of the herbs that we use in our food today actually came over with the Romans. What did they ever do for us? So you're looking at rosemary, thyme, oregano, basil, possibly coriander, though more coriander, yeah, that is from the Mediterranean basin. Basil itself is from the South Asia and Africa, and some are terribly tough, some like sunny conditions, some like shady conditions, some will tolerate the frost, some will not tolerate the frost at all. They're all very different, so you can't just lump them all together. And this is where the problem lies when Alan Titchmarsh is talking about herbs, and then the person who wrote the article starts talking about herbs. He's lumping them all together, and Alan is talking about them as individuals. So, regards to the cold, there are some herbs that you don't need to do anything with, and there are some herbs, let's be honest with you, you wouldn't have them because they would have been killed off ages ago. So, let's talk about those first. And when I talk about those, I'm talking about basil and coriander. They are not hardy. Basil, they won't even grow below about 15 degrees Celsius, and the first sign of a frost, that's gone. Coriander is a wee bit hardier. It can take temperatures down to about 0 degrees Celsius, just about, but really it's going to be knackered by then. You certainly wouldn't be in any condition to actually collect any foliage for your cooking. So both of those, the first frost that you would have had, which would have been the other side of Christmas, they'd be gone. So you do not need to worry about protecting those from the oncoming snow, because they're already dead. Now, if you're finding the information in this video useful, or perhaps just mildly amusing and you'd like to pass it on, then by all means press the like button. It supports this channel immensely and helps us do what we do. Don't forget, you can also click onto the subscription button. Subscription is absolutely free and you can unsubscribe at any time. It doesn't cost you anything, and if you want to be notified whenever we publish a new video, then all you need to do is click on that notification bell. Anyway, let's continue to find out what old Boilbelt has to say. Now, I and my lovely wife Lorna, we live on the very south of the UK, so we do experience some of the most mild temperatures that you do get here. So plants like your bay tree, again from Europe, that's tough as old boots. You don't need to worry about that at all. So there are no worries there, at least for us. But further north of England, maybe Scotland, you might need to put down some horticultural fleece to protect it. And then we get on to rosemary. Again, doesn't really need any protection here on the south coast. Mint, oh, we didn't talk about mint. Mint is tough as old boots. That's already grown through. Let me show you. That doesn't give a damn about a touch of snow on the top. That is absolutely tough as old boots. And while I'm here, the thyme is absolutely fine. It's not so much the cold temperature, it's just been on damp, and you notice it's on a little bit of a raised border, so that's absolutely fine, as is rosemary, which I think I just mentioned. So again, evergreen, tough as old boots where I am. Now, oregano isn't going to be as tough. I grow mine in the greenhouse, and you can grow it in pots, and if you are growing it in pots, then you're going to need to bring this under protection, because freezing temperatures, load of snow on it, can kill it. Although you have marjoram, which is how oregano evolved here in the UK, so although genetically identical, it has naturalized and sort of changed. Marjoram is tough, but not as flavoursome. Oregano, far more flavoursome, not as tough. Now, he does recommend some of these Mediterranean herbs, if you are growing them in pots, which many of you do, then move them to the shelter of your house where they can be kept under the eaves. Then that's not even English. And then they are out of the rain and they're out of the snowfall when they have that extra protection. And with that, they generally will be absolutely fine. But indeed, if you have a cold frame or a unheated greenhouse, then stick them in there and you'll have no problems whatsoever. I've had the parsley, that's actually been kept outside. I've even been harvesting off of this for some of our meals, so that's very lovely. Again, really, really tough. And in here, now you can just about see that is chives. Now, if I'd have put that in the greenhouse, then I probably would actually have some foliage off that. So that would mean I could still harvest from chives and I could still harvest from the parsley. Two really great herbs there. Herbs. So this article also goes on to say that you need to keep an eye out on your garlic bulbs with regards to a covering of snow. Now, the thing with garlic bulbs is that you would plant those bulbs out generally end of the autumn, early winter. And even the lovely Monty Don says that you can plant these out in January. And the thing is, they're planted that early because they need that cold. They need that period of cold to help produce those lovely big bulbs come the summer. And if you listen to the advice from the Royal Horticultural Society, my favourite horticultural society, it even recommends that because newly planted clothes can often be attractive to birds who like to pluck them out. So they recommend putting down a layer of horticultural fleece over the top of the bulbs, and you can take that off once those roots have established. But so you have a plant that requires a cold period, you have advice that says to protect it with a horticultural fleece, and then you have this article saying that you've got to keep an eye on it because of the cold weather. No one really speaks like that. So I'm going to have to hit my head to stop my brain from being infected by the stupidity of this article. Bloody. Now, if you would like a continual harvest of homegrown herbs throughout the winter, then you can, given that you have some protection. Now, if you want coriander, as you lovely Americans say cilantro, and basil, then you will need to keep these indoors. So they need to be in warm temperatures and in bright conditions. That will be absolutely fine. Your rosemary, thyme, bay, they can all stay outside. They really won't have any problems. But if you're talking about oregano, parsley really, and chives, you need to keep those in a cool greenhouse. And there you go. That is everything you need to know about cold warnings for your herbs. It's a bit of a, some of it is fine, most of it is low old rubbish. But if there's anything that you would like to add, bearing in mind this is all regarding the conditions that we have here on the south coast of the UK. So if you've got anything else you'd like to add, then put that in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And those others who would also like to read the comments can learn from your knowledge too. And before I go, there's one last thing I'd like to say in regards to supporting this channel. And let me get out of the cold. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Right, now, just before you go, if you want to see more content, more behind the scenes stuff, and images that I've taken of some weird freaky plants over the years, then you're in luck, because we've created an Instagram page. So you can find the link in our description, you can find the link on our main page, and if I'm clever enough I might be able to get a link somewhere up there. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you want to see more YouTube stuff, then check out this video here. That's quite a good one. And if it doesn't float your boat, then another one right there. And enjoy these while I've still got the strength, imagination and aptitude to make them. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.